Good evening and welcome to this edition of the Evening News for today, Saturday, February 19th, 2022. I am Timothy Jaikran. Thank you for tuning in. In the headlines, the Saudi Arabia foreign minister on one-day visit in Georgetown, man on the run after fatally shooting daughter's boyfriend, West Coast Berbice motorcyclist dies after crashing into minibus, government MULLS direct crude sales instead of using crude marketer, Murad looking at new design for water taxis, and 500 women benefit from CIOG'S pop smear drive. Now for the news in detail. We begin tonight's newscast by telling you that Minister of State for Foreign Affairs and member of the Council of the Minister of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia visited Georgetown earlier today to further bilateral talks with the Dr. Irfan Ali-led administration. Details in this report.
Saudi Arabia's Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Adel bin Ahmad Al-Jubeir, arrived in Guyana Saturday afternoon and was welcomed by his Guyanese counterparts, Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Minister Hugh Todd. The visiting official and his delegation then met with President Dr. Irfan Ali and his cabinet members, including Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips and Vice President Dr. Bharat Jagdeo at State House for a working lunch. Over the last 18 months, Guyana and Saudi Arabia have intensified their collaboration and continue to enjoy cordial and mutually beneficial relations. The visit of the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs will therefore serve as an impetus for the further enhancement of relations between the two countries. On Tuesday, President Dr. Irfan Ali held a meeting with the visiting team from Saudi Arabia at the Marriott Hotel in Georgetown following the opening day of the inaugural International Energy Conference at Expo Guyana, which was held in Georgetown. The visiting delegation was led by the Arab nation governor of the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, Adib Al-Amma. Guyana established formal diplomatic relations with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia on February 22, 2012. Bisham Mohammed, Evening News.
Police ranks in Georgetown are on the hunt for a 44-year-old man who disguised himself in female clothes and fatally shot his daughter's boyfriend at some time around midnight on Friday. Leon Gittins, 25, of Lot 118 Cowan Street, Kingston, Georgetown, was shot dead at a house in Freeman Street, East La Penitence. Police say Gittins, who shared an intimate relationship with the suspect's daughter, had allegedly been threatened by the man earlier in January. It was reported that the young man went to the La Penitence location to pick up his girlfriend on Friday night. She told investigators that she observed her father, dressed in a blue dress with a wig on his head and armed with a black handgun, entering the yard. The young woman related that she ran for cover and then she heard 3 loud explosions in the house, after which the suspect ran away. Upon checking, she saw Gittins lying motionless in front of a bedroom. The injured young man was rushed to the Georgetown Public Hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. The body is now at the GPHC mortuary, awaiting a post-mortem examination. The police say efforts are being made to locate the suspect. A 21-year-old motorcyclist was killed this morning after he crashed into the back of a minibus, which had stopped to pick up a passenger on West Coast Berbice Public Road. Our Berbice correspondent Andrew Carmichael visited the scene and filed this report.
Dead is 21-year-old laborer Devon McCalman of number 10 Village, West Coast, Berbice. The accident occurred sometime at around 11 hours 30 today on the number 8 Public Road, West Coast, Berbice, involving a minibus which McCalman's motorcycle crashed into. The young man was at the time going on a work errand. He had stopped home to inform his mother that he was heading to number 7 Village and would be back shortly.
Come with the bike with John do motorbike, and he said, "Mommy, going on bike, yes, I'm for John do bike, and he coming back just now." And on the way, he even reach where he going for buy the gas, and get a phone call, so I told my son reach up an accident, and he did bad. So when he rush out with me, and I ran this clothes, I pull on this dirty clothes, and I tell my sister, and say, "Come go ahead, my quick at number 8, so I told my son just reach up with accident. On the way going to number 8, the same person come back and tell me I go to Fort Wellington Hospital, so I told them go in there with the body. So I told them I go there and to jump out the bus, and I run in front of some vehicle and catch another bus and end up at the Fort Wellington Hospital. Then when I see the doctor and the nurses them surround me, and they tell me to wait outside. And after then, my sister and everybody come up there, and the police come to me and tell me that my son passed away. And
Police say both vehicles were proceeding in an eastern direction when the bus stopped to collect a passenger and the motorcyclist collided with the right rear of the bus. This collision resulted in McCalmon falling to the road, resulting in him receiving injuries. He was picked up and taken to the Fort Wellington Hospital in an unconscious state where he was pronounced dead.
Yes, I am a driver for 6 years now, but that doesn't sound right for me. That have to be the boss. Give him a sudden stop, just pull in front of him and stop. That's why he have to draw a sudden brakes and end up like that. That is my opinion, the way how it seems on the scene. That is the way we suggest it happen. They're going to speed just for $100. They don't business if they have to take someone's life. They're just pulling over in front of people and they just give you a rush stop. They don't business just for $100. These minibus driver don't care what they're doing.
McCalmon was the eldest of 8 siblings. He worked as a laborer in the rice industry. He is the father of 2 children. Andrew Carmichael, The Evening News.
While a decision has not yet been made, the government is inclining towards directly selling Guyana's crude rather than the crude marketing firms it has been using to sell the country's share of oil from the Stabroek Block. Gerald Bryan joins us with more.
In a recent interview with the Evening News, Minister of Natural Resources Vikram Bharat spoke of the government's future approach to selling its share of crude oil. He pointed out the benefits of ditching crude marketers and selling the oil directly, including increased savings for the government.
But it makes practical sense to sell our crude because our crude, as you know, is sweet crude and is in high demand around the world. And presently we are paying a marketing fee to market our crude from Laser Destiny. Every lift the government of Guyana will have to pay, as it is now, $25,000 to market our crude. If we can sell our crude and eliminate that cost or save that cost, then it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense to sell it to the person who would pay, of course, the burnt price, the market price, and who is in a position financially and otherwise to carry out the lift successfully.
According to Bharat, the government selling Guyana's oil directly could take the shape of either on-the-spot sales, which has been done in the past, or through contracts. He emphasized, however, that a decision has not been taken yet, but noted that it would be an open process. It had been announced recently by Minister Bharat that at least 90 crude lifts are expected for this year. The Liza Phase 2 began producing oil earlier this month. ExxonMobil has said it anticipates at least 6 projects offshore Guyana will be online by 2027. This includes the Payara and the Yellowtail developments, while Exxon also seeks approval for the Yaru development. Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
Coming up on the other side of the break, Marad looking at new design for water taxis. Please stay tuned.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Satco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store, located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rheinveld.
Moving, lifting, or bending, whatever the job, we at Sylvie's Variety Store have the right tools to make it happen. Pallet jacks and hand trucks for bonds and industrial sites, easy pickup and convenient maneuvers. Chain hoist from Roughneck and Northern Industrial, the perfect solution to lifting heavy objects. And then there's the 12-ton and 16-ton hydraulic pipe benders from 1/2 to 2 inch. We also stock the shop press machine from Northern Industrial. Sylvie's Variety Store stocks the tools to make it happen.
Welcome back. You're watching the Evening News. Amar Prasad joins us now to report that the Maritime Administration Department will soon be looking at new designs for water taxis that operate throughout Guyana. Let's have a look.
This was revealed by Director General of Marit Stephen Thomas on Wednesday during an exclusive interview with this newscast. He noted that safety is their main priority, and as such, the new designs for the water taxis will not only increase safety, but comfort for passengers as well.
With respect to maritime safety, is that we continue to strive to improve so that persons traveling on all the waterways, especially like the water taxis, aka speedboats, the safety is, of course, is absolute priority. And what we're doing, what we're working on, this year, we're even developing, working on a new boat concept, a new design for these boats to enhance safety and comfort and sanitation.
Thomas stated that the design will have to be examined and tested, but will however be implemented long before 2025.
It definitely wouldn't be 2025, but it will be long before then. But I cannot give you a specific when this design is going to finish because it's concepts being put together.
Samarat had further added that they will be looking at the largest size of these taxis first, this being those that traverse the Demerara River. Then other designs will be implemented at other locations.
For all the passenger services we would yes, it's for all. We're going to look at Demerara has the biggest size of boats because this has the largest number of persons. So by default, we look at the Demerara force, and just the others would spin off of that. But the entire country will looking to up the standard for safety, comfort, and sanitary.
For the Evening News, Amar Prasad.
In this report, you will hear that the Central Islamic Organization of Guyana today hosted their first ever pap smear drive, and some 500 women have benefited. Shane Marks was there and filed this report.
The pap smear drive was held on Saturday at CIOG'S Wolford Avenue, Georgetown location.
Today, as you can see, it's a big pap smear drive. It's an initiative by the CIOG, and we've collaborated with Eureka Laboratory, who is doing the sampling and testing. And then after, we will be able to distribute the results to the women.
According to CIOG's General Manager Shamina Anif, after the women are screened, testing is then done at Eureka Lab, where the results are yielded within 11 to 14 days. CIOG would then take care of the distribution of the results.
Okay, it will be approximately a week and a half, then we will get the test. Because after the sampling, it will have to go to the pathology lab, and then after which we will get the results. We will be dealing with the results ourselves after they would give to us, because we have persons coming all the way from Berbice, all the way from the East Bank of Essequibo. So what we will do with how we are structured, we will be able to send those results to our representatives in each of the region, rather than persons having to travel all the way back to Central Georgetown. So it will be easier in them accessing their results.
Anif said that the initiative for the drive came about because of the high rate of women being diagnosed with cancer, specifically cervical cancer.
So the initiative came about because, as you rightfully said, because of the high rate of cancer in our country, to be specific, cervical cancer. So it was very much inspirational for us for this to be an initiative for us in helping our women. As we know, the cost is approximately between 8 to 10,000 Guyana dollars to get screening done, and a lot of the women cannot afford this. Hence the CIOG initiative in getting this done, so our women would be screened, and early detection definitely would save some lives. Yeah.
Anif also alluded to another pap smear drive that will focus on testing men. She strongly encourages both women and men to get tested as it could save lives. For the evening news, Shane Marks.
Upgrade works for the Leonora and Mabaruma hospitals will soon be completed, adding additional capacity for the management of patients entering those facilities. Rupesino 9 has the details.
Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony on Friday provided an update on the works that are ongoing at regional hospitals across the country, as well as projects that will come on stream later this year. The Smart Hospital concept comes under an $835 million fund under the United Kingdom Department for International Development and implemented by PAHO's Department of Emergency Preparedness and Disaster Relief with the Health Ministry. The Diamond Diagnostic Center, Lenora Treatment Center, Mabaruma and Lethem Regional Hospitals, and the Paramakatoy Health Center were identified to be upgraded.
Right now, we have the district hospital at Lenora being completed, so very shortly we'll recommission that hospital. The works at Mabaruma has just been completed, so very shortly that too we will be commissioning. We are starting works at the West Demerara Hospital, and we expect that by March we should go out to tender for a company to come in to do the construction. So hopefully by mid of this year we'll be able to start construction at West Demerara. And Bartica, similarly.
Since the pandemic, intensive care and bed capacity has been bolstered across regional facilities and the Infectious Diseases Hospital. Speaking on the COVID-19 equipment that government had invested to manage patients, the minister said this will be integrated into normal operations post-pandemic.
We have over the last year and a half or so, we've been able to add new beds to that section of the hospital. We have given them ventilators, we have taken oxygen in there, we have given them monitors and all the instruments that they need to properly manage a COVID-19 patient. Obviously, when there's no longer a great need for this type of isolation unit, we will more than likely move those equipment to areas of the hospital where we can manage patients with other conditions.
Dr. Anthony reassured that all regional hospitals are equipped adequately. A re-evaluation will be done after infections have dropped to determine if these resources will be shifted. Rupa Sinarayan, The Evening News.
We now tell you that Guyana's transition to natural gas with the government's much-anticipated Gas to Shore project will see the country recording its highest level of reduction emissions from any of the renewable energy sources. Find out more in this report.
This is according to Regional Product Director of General Electric, John Ngam, who specializes in projects aimed at reducing CO2 emissions. Ngam made a presentation at the recently concluded International Energy Conference hosted in Georgetown this week. He pointed out that Guyana could record as much as 50% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions by switching to natural gas from fossil fuel.
Just moving to natural gas will take you at least a 50% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions. And I think it's a huge opportunity for Guyana to lead the way in that.
According to Ngam, while there is a lot of possibilities for Guyana's energy transition, natural gas power is seen today as a key factor in the transition process.
I think that the largest step for Guyana in emission reduction will be the introduction of natural gas. You will never have such a big reduction in a single movement after that. Of course, hopefully you'll get to zero, but the biggest reduction will be the introduction of natural gas. But that has to allow, it can't stop there. It has to allow for the penetration of renewables. It has to allow for wind. It has to allow for solar. That's an obvious path forward, right? And so the plant has to be designed with that in mind. It can't be designed as a stationary plant that will remain operating with gas all its life.
The PPPC government is pursuing the $900 million gas to shore project that will see gas from the Liza field in the Stabroek block being piped onshore to generate power. The main objective is to transport sufficient gas from the offshore oil operations to supply some 200 to 250 megawatts of energy to the national grid by 2024, leading to a significant reduction in electricity costs. Only this week, head of the Gas to Shore Task Force, Winston Brassington, told stakeholders at the Energy Conference that some 21 companies have submitted expressions of interest to be pre-qualified for the construction of the project.
Andrew Carmichael joins us again to report that some 57 students and teachers across the East Berbice Quarantine region were on Friday recognized for their academic achievements in both learning and education delivery. Let's have a look.
The ceremony acknowledged the accomplishment of the top National Grade 6 Assessment, the Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate, CSEC, and Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination, CAPE performers. University of Guyana Berbice Campus top performer was also awarded. Deputy Chief Education Officer Development Valaika Jaikashan presented a charge to the group on behalf of Education Minister Priya Manichan. She pointed out the importance of taking time out to recognize exceptional performances in education. According to the DCEO, the hard work of those students is complemented with government's effort to enhance the learning experience and improve the delivery of education in the country. These include the increases in the number and quality of textbooks and other related resources, improved classroom environment, and the expansion of students' welfare, such as ensuring that they are exposed to more rounded education with the inclusion of opportunities in music, sport, and arts. She also spoke about the benefits of the Because We Care cash grant.
You know that our Because We Care cash grant has now gone to $30,000. Put your hands together. For each child in the nursery, primary, and secondary level, we're receiving $30,000 shortly. Last year, you received $19,000, right?
Among the awardees were two children who are physically challenged. Nitya Narain attained a place at the Bishop High School, and Fifa Ali attained a place at Queen's College.
Nitya is from Newmarket Secondary, was at Newmarket Primary, and she sat the National Grade 6 Assessment based on her very good academic record, and she attained a place at the Bishop's High School from the grade 5. And Miss Afifa from Caribaton Primary, as you have seen, she is a visually impaired child, and she attained place at St. Stanislas, and they transferred, the parent transferred her to Skeldon Line Park Secondary.
Meanwhile, 14 teachers who retired over the past 2 years were also honored during the ceremony. For the Evening News, Andrew Carmichael.
We'll now take a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbour Bridge will be closed to vehicular traffic on Sunday, February the 20th, 2022, from 400 hours for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Berbice River Bridge is expected to be closed at 6:05 hours on Sunday, February the 20th, 2022, also for a period of 1.5 hours.
Annual Burnham Memorial Cycle Race pedals off Sunday. This and more coming up in the Sportscast sponsored by Macorp.
Ultra Lubricants, the leading lubricants for tropical conditions, has been serving you for over 40 years, extending the life cycle of your vehicle's engine by protecting it from wear and corrosion, removes impurities, and reducing frequent vehicle oil changes. Ultra Lubricants is for every market, from two-wheel light vehicle to trucks, construction, agriculture equipment, mining activities, and boating. Ultra Lubricants, world-class lubricants for tropical conditions. Distributed by Industrial Supply of Guyana, Inc., and available nationwide.